It's time now for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Central Arkansas's premier news talk program. Brought to you by Sears Hometown Store, locally owned and operated right here in Mountain Home.
Good morning, North Central Arkansas, Southern Missouri. It is Tuesday, May 5th, 2020. It is 7 a.m. Isn't this the day somebody sunk the mayonnaise?
Sunk the mayonnaise.
They call it Cinco de Mayo or something.
Oh, gosh. Mickey, don't laugh over there. You just encourage him. Don't do it.
You had no idea that was coming, did you? Yeah, somebody sunk the mayonnaise. That's what it's Cinco de Mayo, huh?
Alrighty then.
Shall we move on?
Yes, let's move on.
Good morning. Welcome to Down on the Corner program. Dale Hoffman, your host, Scooter Callis. Okay, Judge Mickey Pendergrass, be our guest for a few minutes. We're social distancing with the cameras. I mean, like, you know, I've got a can of spray down here. I mean, come on, you know. Anyway, Mickey's down here, and he'll be on camera here in a few minutes. And Down on the Corner is brought to you by your hometown Sears store. Can't say enough good things about Sears right here in Mountain Home at 1029 Highway 62 East, 425-3191. The best in home appliances, home entertainment, outdoor equipment like barbecue grills, lawn care equipment, tools, and what am I missing? What else do they have? I mean,
they carry anything from inside the home to outside the home. Yeah. They have it.
Well, in the day when I was with Sears, you can get chain link fencing, you can get
you get clothing and everything else. But they kind of don't do that much anymore.
Yeah, true.
But they do carry all your lawn equipment, anything you need for your yard, anything you need for inside the house, from appliances, you name it, they got it. Washer and dryers, refrigerators.
And the thing about hometown Sears right here is they're going to bend over backwards to make you happy. If you need it, they're going to help you try to find it. They're going to do whatever it takes to help you because, you know, this is, I mean, you know, we talk about local stores quite a bit during all this virus outbreak stuff, and I'm sure the judge is going to elaborate on it a little bit later in the show. But Sears is your perfect example of your hometown, home-operated, home tax-paying based show, right, or store right here in Mountain Home. So, you know, if you're in Marion County, Fulton County, want to visit Sears, come on over. Ozark County, Missouri, come on down. Love to have you visit Sears. They're at 1029 Highway 62 East, and they're right behind Wendy's up on the hill, and you can't beat Sears. 425-3191, 1029 Highway 62 East. Check out their maintenance agreement programs. I think Bob said up to 5 products on the maintenance agreement for like 175 total. Is that correct? Yeah.
They come out and clean them all up and make sure they're running efficient. And you'd be surprised what a little cleanup and what little tune-up will do onto a refrigerator as far as saving you some
clean up those coils
dollars in the long run and keep it a lot cooler.
That's true, yeah. Check out your hometown Sears store at 1029 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Now I'm enjoying Brewed Awakening Coffee. You can do the same thing with 2 locations that are drive-through right now, Bomber Boulevard and 62 East Plaza. The hospital has a Brewed Awakening coffee bar, but of course we're waiting for information on when we can get into the hospital to visit folks. And so right now, 2 locations to serve you Brewed Awakening coffee. Bomber Boulevard and Highway 62 East Plaza out by Anytime Fitness. Mike and his staff do a great job at all 3 locations. And they're fully staffed and operated at the 2 drive-thrus right now. And so stop by and you can have your French vanilla, your pumpkin spice, or your latte, your mocha, whatever you like. And you're going to really enjoy it. Brewed Awakening Coffee is the best coffee in town. And so if you're not drinking Brewed Awakening, you're just drinking muddy water. What do you got in a cup down there, Judge? Is that homebrew or just...
Homebrew coffee.
You like it light or dark?
Dark.
Yeah, well...
If I can see the bottom of the cup, you...
Amen to that.
Might as well be in England drinking tea.
Yeah. Brewed Awakening Coffee. You know, Mike and his staff, Mike's been with us for a long time. We've enjoyed Brewed Awakening Coffee now for probably 5, 6, maybe 7 years now. You know, the radio days, and brought it over here and went over to XL7 TV. And so Brewed Awakening Coffee is the very best. Try them. You know, like I say, you can go Bomber Boulevard, next Acumen Audio, get a little drive-through there, not by Anytime Fitness out the east part of town. And you'll be very pleased with what you get with Brewed Awakening Coffee. And once again, if you're not drinking Brewed Awakening, you're just drinking muddy water. Right?
There you go.
There you go. And Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas bring the morning prayer each and every day. With all our respect, Roller Funeral Homes. There's 29 in the state to serve you, with one in Memphis, Tennessee. Here in town, you can talk to Bruce, Brad, Charlotte, Chris. Anybody there can help you. They may have somebody new out there that I haven't met yet. But very professional, caring, loving, and understanding. You know, you lose a loved one, you think, oh, what do I do now? I don't know what to. Let them handle it. Just let them handle it. And they will get you through a very tough time. Don't forget about pre-planning. Bob Reckmold had one of his clients that said, you know, Dale needs to talk about pre-planning. Exactly right. And so we've been doing that ever since they said that. So, you know, check with Roller Funeral Home, set up some pre-planning appointments, and they can run you through everything so when the time comes, it's not a burden on the ones that are left behind. Roller Funeral Homes, with all our respect. Let's pause now for the morning prayer. Heavenly Father, with the COVID-19 virus dominating the news for the last 2 months, it makes me wonder, what have we really missed out on? Before the virus was dominant as a news story, if the president's socks didn't match, the Democrats were launching more investigations towards him. Lord, we're grateful that during this time we've not had another major disaster. Of course, we've had storms like in Nashville and Jonesboro, and we continue to pray that those people will recover soon. Well, Lord, our schools are empty, our churches are empty, and our businesses struggle with no income. Lord, I pray an end to the virus. Bring us back to obedience in Jesus Christ. May your churches overflow with thankful people. It's my prayer today. Amen. Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas, bring morning prayer each and every day with all our respect. Roller Funeral Homes.
And now,
hang on.
The weather.
That almost didn't hurt.
Almost.
Boy, yesterday.
I was on the money yesterday. I was just, man, it was awesome.
If that was on the money, it was counterfeit. I mean, Bob said his eyes were watering, you know.
I was on it.
Okay.
They were tears of impression. He was just so emotionally involved.
That's like saying Tiny Tim sings bass, you know what I mean? Come on. Morning weather,
Mickey, don't say anything. Just trust me. Don't encourage this.
Well, I've heard him sing bass.
Tiny Tim. That'd be good. Tiny Tim singing Daddy Sang Bass. That'd be good. Yeah. Okay. Carl Perkins' estate would love that one, wouldn't he? Morning weather brought to you by the Z Team. Bob and Linda Zadora for all your real estate. Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Look at that picture.
Wow.
It's a beautiful morning out there.
Sunrise.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the actual camera, or did Dwayne Hayda get out there and paint that? Wow. That is incredible. Wow. Beautiful White River. You're looking in from Marion County into Baxter County.
Is that a glint off the railroad tracks on the right side there?
Well, I'm trying.
I've never seen that happen before.
I haven't either. Is that we're talking about in the right hand, at the extreme right hand, just to the left of the river? Is that the railroad trestle right there?
It must be the railroad tracks.
It looks like it.
Glinting off the sun.
Let me put on the still picture and see if it shows up in that one.
Barely
over there.
Hit it again, because you see the truss building down there.
But that sun's sure glinting off them rails.
Boy, it is. Yeah. Isn't that pretty? You can go to retiredarkansas.net and pull this up on the live webcam. You can take pictures throughout the day and enjoy the beautiful White River. Looks into Cotter, Arkansas, part of Baxter County. Our good friends down there in Cotter, fine folks there. Love the little town of Cotter. And while you're at retiredarkansas.net, you can browse around there and see what all properties are available from the Z Team through the MLS. And they're ready to serve you. Bob and Linda Zadora, 870-405-0793. They need some listings. So if you've been thinking about it, call them and let them guide you through it. And they didn't get the awards just by doing nothing. I mean, you give them a call, they'll start the process. And so you're thinking of bigger house, smaller house, whatever it may be, need some property, whatever it is. Call the Z Team, 870-405-0793. Linda is a professional stager, so when you list her home with them, she can set the home up for that eye appeal and I like that, you know. And so take advantage of the Z Team, the professional real estate agents right here with Century 21 Lemack Real Estate. For all your real estate needs, the Z Team, Bob and Linda Zadora. And they bring you the morning weather each and every day. And right now we're looking at 56 degrees in Mountain Home, 55 at Harrison, 64 at Batesville, 57 at Salem, 56 at Calico, 58 at Flippin, 66 in Marshall, 57 at West Plains, and around the region, St. Louis at 53, Poplar Bluff at 59, 54 at Springfield, Missouri, and 30 in Watford City, North Dakota. Yeah.
That sounds about right for them.
Yep. Have to refresh it. I've refreshed it like 6 times. This one don't stay on very long. Okay. National radar. We've got rain mainly throughout the upper middle part of the country. We do have a little bit in Montana, the state of Washington. Other than that, the eastern part of North and South Dakota, western part of Minnesota. Shower activity in northern Illinois, back to eastern Iowa, back into West Virginia, Indiana, and Ohio. A little bit coming down as far as very northeast Tennessee. A little bit in the state of Arkansas right now. We'll zoom in and take a look at that and see what's going on. I-30 is probably the main highway that's being affected right now. Interstate 30 and Highway 67 from Texarkana into Texas right now. Other shower activities to the south and southeast of Pine Bluff, other than that north of Little Rock and Conway, doesn't seem to be anything showing up on the radar. Basically, Interstate 40 from Fort Smith to Little Rock back to Memphis in good shape. I-49 and I-55 coming out of Memphis, and 555 over at Jonesboro, and Interstate 155, Dyersburg to Jackson, Tennessee, in pretty good shape there. 62-412 is clear right now. Highway 65 from Conway to Branson. I don't see any issues there. And same thing with 67 and 167 as it splits at Batesville and heads on north there. In the state of Missouri, Joplin with a little bit of a shower going on right now affecting I-44. Not very serious. Other than that, I-44, I-70, 49, 55, 57 in Missouri. In Illinois, it looks like Interstate 64 east from East St. Louis to Mount Vernon is clear. I-70, possibly some light showers just past Effingham, Illinois, towards the Indiana line. Anyway, a little bit of a flood watch box in Missouri. And let's see, that'd be a flood advisory in the state of Missouri. Check the rivers here in just a minute. 7-day forecast today, decreasing clouds, high of 71. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, 69. Thursday, a 30% chance of showers with a high of 67. Thursday night, 80% chance of showers. And then Friday morning, we have a 20% chance of thunder showers, high of 64, and then 65 on Saturday.
What's the low Friday morning or Saturday morning?
It's cold. It's 38 Friday night. From Friday into Saturday, 38. So put on some Snuggies that night. Yep. Let's see. I'm going to go back to that flood watch box here. That's, I'm going to say it's just north of Carter County. So let's see. I'm going to check, see if Current River has come up at Donovan.
Yeah, it came up a little bit.
Come up a little bit there. This is 6.8 feet. They're predicting it to be 6.8 feet tomorrow morning at this time. And this will be Current River at Van Buren. Well, this was Current River at Donovan. Let's see what Van Buren. This is 7.9 feet. And at Montauk, this is where it takes off. So it's not too bad right there. But you can check your river stages here. For instance, we can go to Batesville and we can check the White River at Batesville and bring it up.
Why don't you check it in Calico? It's a little closer to where we're at here.
11.5 feet Thursday morning there. What'd you say, Calico?
Yep.
White River at Calico.
Oh, it's dropping there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, been up and down, hasn't it? Well, you can go to weather.gov and check out your river stages right there across the.
I think the report was this morning will have one floodgate open out in Norfolk.
Just one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Equal to one generator.
Doing pretty good. Well, let's see. I drive Arkansas. We got a couple of accidents. One down around Stuttgart, Arkansas. You can click on the little icon on Highway 13. There's an accident 2.1 miles north of U.S. Highway 79 on the northbound lane there. And in Bentonville, we have on Highway 71, 10th of a mile north of I-49, an accident there. And that's being handled by the Arkansas State Police. I show you that, and I know nobody's in Stuttgart or nobody's in Bentonville this morning watching. And so for folks that, how do you navigate that map? This is what happens. You can also put your radar on the iDrive Arkansas and see where the showers are at a little bit over here on the Mississippi River, south of Memphis. A little bit of slow traffic going into Memphis from West Memphis. Checking Missouri Department of Transportation. They're going to have J Highway in Missouri, Judge, shut down for a while, aren't they?
Yes, till August.
And that's Lick Creek?
Lick Creek.
Yeah. That's that narrow bridge. That's where you grew up, ain't it? Out there?
Yep, just up the creek from that. And the old bridge brings back a lot of memories. It's going to be missing. I had to made a trip through there last week. That reminds me, when I go tomorrow, I got to go the other way.
Yeah, you have to take 5.
Got to cut across T Highway. That's just where I grew up.
Yep, sure enough. Let's see. Route U in Missouri is closed in both directions. That's just north of West Plains. Route Double E is closed due to flooding. So if you're going up into Missouri, like the judge may be doing, any one of these little half-full little half moons here, there, that means be careful. You got some flooding issues. Remember we had that on the map over here where it had a little flood advisory up there in Missouri. Anyway, pollen index for today, medium high 8.8, mulberry, oak, and grasses. Tomorrow 9.2. And what else do we need to check here? I think oil prices have gone up pretty good, 24.84 for oil prices. And nothing on the drought monitors. We do have them up and running. And so, of course, with all the rain, there's no drought going on. Morning weather and all the updates are brought to you by the Z Team, Bob and Linda Zadora. For all your real estate needs, 870-405-0793. Once again, if you're thinking of listing your home and thinking about it, discuss it with the Z Team, and they'll bring you all up to date on what you need to do and give you some very good advice. Okay, 7:15, 7:16, County Judge is here. He's got a lot of information for us, so after the break, we'll be visiting with Baxter County Judge Mickey Pendergrass. Be right back.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detail services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Hi, it's Bob Zadora, the Z Team at Century 21 Lemac Realty, 1024 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. As you know, we are all facing some unusual times. Be calm, be smart. The business world of real estate will continue. We may have some delays and some changes that are out of our control, but life will go on, and this too will pass. Give thanks for this wonderful country that we live in. Give thanks for the neighbors that we share. If there's anything we can do to give you a hand, give us a call. 870-405-0793. And check out our website, retiredtoarkansas.net.
At Connor Family Funeral Home, our goal is to provide our friends and neighbors with caring, compassionate services at an affordable price. Connor Family is a full-service funeral home that offers a wide range of services to meet your family's needs and customs. We are the first on-site crematory in the area and provide many options to memorialize your loved ones and address all the details for a more personalized service. Where compassion and affordability meet, Connor Family Funeral Home in Mountain Home.
It takes the right gear to survive out here. Oh, there she is, Ferris. It's the best gear around. Strong as an ox. Safe as houses. Out back, there's one powerful beast. Awesome. Four-wheel suspension. Handles whatever Mother Nature throws at you. Designed to take the hard out of hard work and deliver all the power you could need. So if you want to tackle the great outdoors, get yourself a Ferris.
Get the only mower with suspension technology at Mower Warehouse in Mountain Home, where they accept mower trade-ins, have flexible financing options, and services all brands and models. That's Mower Warehouse, located on Buzzard Roost in Mountain Home.
When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, it's our desire that you think about finding a way to live your life to the fullest while living with a serious illness. If you ever need help and support, we provide a team of healthcare professionals and volunteers that will support your physical, emotional, and spiritual aspects of life while doing the same for your family and caregivers in the comfort of your own home or wherever you call home. When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, we hope that you grant us permission to walk on the journey with you. Your not-for-profit option since 1979.
Hi, I'm Benny with Ammo Dump.
At Ammo Dump, they carry new and used firearms, large supply of shotguns, rifles, and handguns. Ammo Dump will buy, sell, or trade in your item and can special order whatever you like. They also have knives, scopes, ammo of any caliber, and provide gun cleaning and restoration. Call them today for the best competitive pricing around.
If I don't have it or can't get it because I don't make it, come and see us.
That's Ammo Dump, located next to Woodman's Package in Norfolk.
Hi, this is Jeff Quick with the Food Bank of North Central Arkansas. We know that a lot of folks out there are concerned about the COVID-19 crisis, and we want you to know that the Food Bank is doing our work along with local schools and food bank partner agencies to make sure that everyone in our community has plenty to eat during this time. If you'd like to be a part of the solution, give us a call at the Food Bank, 870-499-7565, or visit us online at foodbanknca.org.
7:20, Mickey Pendergrass, Baxter County Judge is here, and we read the press release that was issued May 1, read it yesterday.
Oh, yes.
There's the printout on it.
Yes, about opening up the courthouse. Yes, we did that yesterday. And
you found the key, huh?
Yeah. It is in the courthouse. It is the north door and the south door. The north door is the one with the handicap ramp, and the south door is the double doors that it seems that most people use, the single doors, and it's controlled traffic flow. And if you come in there, the clerk's office and the treasurer's office and any business there, if the door is not shut, there'll be a chain across the door, and they'll serve you across the chain. One thing that we considered, as I stated in that letter somewhere in the first sentence, I think, that the first sentence, the people's building, and that's who paid for it and built it, and that's the way we feel about it. And especially in the assessor's office, in the collector's office right now, and it's a really busy time in the assessor's office, and people need to, and they've been doing good because things have gotten to where you can do it online and by phone a whole lot easier than you ever could. But there's still a lot of people want to come do their assessments and all those things in person, and so we're making arrangements. They've got protective measures in their office where they could just take everybody that comes in and maintain their distancing and a barrier between them. So it's working. I didn't hear any complaints yesterday. The farmers market will open up on May 16th, full market to those that are wished. I've not heard back from the markets. I've sent them a message the same day, and my secretary was calling those who don't have email addresses. And then household hazard waste, I've had some questions on. It's been in the past open on Monday mornings from 8 to noon. We'll open it up on June 1st. That's been confirmed as of yesterday, so we'll open that back up, and she expects to be extremely busy.
And who's that?
It's household hazardous waste, where people bring their excess propane bottles or fuels, disinfectants, and paint, lots of things that they have that's on the approved list to bring in there, and we take care of that. We budget for every year to dispose of that stuff properly. And but it's open a half a day, once a week on Mondays, and she's had a little reprieve. It's usually a really busy time for the office out there. But I told her yesterday she was going to need more help than just a regular one guy, probably because people are going to be packing up. So yes, things are opening up, and I've noticed that some of the other places are starting to, with restrictions, with mask requirements or distance requirements or age requirements, etc., starting to open up. I think it's tomorrow. The barbershops and beauty salons the governor has allowed with specifications. My wife is happy that she can go do her workouts now. They can maintain their distance. The workout places have limited existence, and they're open and running again. And we've got to get these small business back operating because.
In your opinion, have we not overreacted to this a bit?
Well, time and historical will tell, and I can get in a lot of trouble right here. But yes, we have, and we have become.
We're scared of our own shadow.
Something I said on the front end when people were alerting me, like, you've got to say something. I said, what am I going to say? I'm a political subdivision. The county is a political subdivision of the state, and the state guidelines is what we're going by, and the health department. And we had a lot of work, and that showed out last week. We had a lot of work going on behind the scenes on how to deal with a lot of things. I've got to know personally a lot of people I didn't know before, especially at the hospital and in health department issues. And
it's not like the hospital has just been overrun with COVID-19 patients.
And they have been a casualty in this. Most hospitals have been a casualty in this thing because they stopped all procedures, and I read one report and listened to some doctors who stated there's a hospital in California. It was like 7 floors tall, bigger than ours. They closed 2 floors because of lack of business, and laid a lot of people off. And of course, the hospital here had to lay off 300 people because they couldn't get any business, people in and out. And so there was a lot of things, but the history will learn from this.
Yeah.
Maybe we overreacted. Maybe we didn't. Maybe that's what stopped it. We don't know yet, and time will tell.
But you go into Baxter Regional.
But I think there's a lot of things that's happening that shouldn't be happening.
True. I mean, even the parking lot is clean at Baxter Regional. Tobias will sit here and he'll bring in guests from time to time, and it's like we don't cut corners, we clean them.
Yes.
I was actually down there a couple of years ago, and one of the maintenance crew was cleaning the elevator doors. These are stainless steel elevators, and he stood back and he looked and
yeah, they're serious about it, and it
it's
really
that clean.
And it got more in depth as we all did. We were sanitizing when the public was still coming, and then way we're going, we were sanitizing at least twice a daily in all of our public areas, and keeping an eye on employees. The fortunate thing about Baxter County is all of our employees have stayed on the job, except for those 2 or 3 that had to take off to provide for their kids and special needs and such. But we had a couple that had traveled that we quarantined, but they never stopped working. We found the provisions for them, whoever they were working for, we found provisions for them to work by themselves, to spread out the 14 days, and they never missed a beat. But
this has been going on.
We've been fortunate. There's a lot of private companies out there who wasn't so fortunate. A lot of employees that's needing help.
Yeah. This basically goes back to about March 13th when they shut the schools down. Mm-hmm. And we've had a guest in here, 2 or 3 guests in here per day. And the only thing that's gone bad is Scooter's trumpet during the weather. I mean, that's about literally, that's about it,
Well, we've taken our steps with distancing and stuff and keeping people spread out.
Yes.
And doing our part. So
it's been a lot of imagination used through this thing to get through some things, and there's also been a lot of frustration because of what we dealt with.
And I read something the other day where they're saying, don't wear plastic gloves into the grocery stores, because you put your let's say you put them on, you drive your vehicle. Okay, did you sterilize the steering wheel? No, it's on the gloves. You close the door, you put your phone in your pocket, you put your keys in your pocket. You grab a hold of the shopping cart, and then you start handling stuff, the lettuce, the cans of soup, stuff like, they're saying that that's carrying the virus more than if you just had hand sanitizer and cleaned your hands and then went into the store.
Yes. All the time when I'm out like that I use plastic gloves is when I handle a gas in my vehicle.
I know.
And I'll have a sanitizer and wipe or hand sanitizer, but I'll have a glove on the ones I handle equipment with. I was getting some gas yesterday, and I had my hand sanitizer wipes, and I wiped down the whole pump when it was pumping gas because I was about empty.
Well, the pump won't get the virus, will it?
No, it's clean. And but I have cleaned a couple of handles that luckily I don't travel that much and I have to buy that much gas, but I do use them in such application. I keep them in my vehicle along with sanitizing wipes. My wife made sure of that, so we have that. But we have been baptized with fire. The OEM position was vacant when this started. Office of Emergency Management. I had a deputy that was acting, and we had interviewed, and I had made a decision because when this started hitting, we started hearing the money issues and the revenue, which we're still concerned about. And so we immediately got on the stick and promoted him to full-time, and he took over and has done a fabulous job. And thank you very much, David, if you're watching. But he has, along with a lot of other people, been trying to get us It's a learning experience. Work through the Arkansas Department of Emergency Management, declaring the disaster, then making applications. And the first time I got an application for the hospital of stuff they needed, that they felt that they needed, and it was like $350,000 worth of stuff. And I'm sending it down there, and they tell you, well, you got to send it here, and we've got all that kind of stuff straightened out. But in the process, he has been able to acquire enough stuff to the PPEs and the gloves and sanitizers, all of us working together to keep us safe and to keep the employees and facilities covered up. We just hadn't been able to, like everybody else, get anything to provide for the public. Within the next, if it's not already, it's getting there within the next couple of weeks, there'll be more of that stuff than we'll ever use.
Yeah.
It'll be there. And that's what I said on the very front end of this thing. And being the optimistic person that I am, try to positive thinking, I have faith, and I've since seen this with a lot of other people, so I'm not alone in this feeling, in the ingenuity and the drive and the understanding and the ability of the American people to conquer this thing.
Sure.
They will do what it takes to get through this and to develop. They're talking about having a vaccine. Maybe by the end of the year, maybe not. I don't know.
They still haven't come up with one for the common cold.
They now have fast-tracked their medicine. They're giving shots to those who bad need it, and they've used things, the ingenuity and the ability and the faith in people. I would ask people right now, if you live in Baxter County or any of the surrounding counties, we have 0 known positive cases. So who are you going to catch it from?
Baxter County.
Now, what you got to be careful about, and I say this often, if you travel, you know where you travel. And there's anybody that comes in, know where they've traveled and who they've been in contact with, because that's how it got here, and it didn't spread exponentially inside the county. Those people took care of business. You got to have faith in the people to. If you're sick, stay home. If you have an issue, then don't go, because this thing, we know it'll kill you. It'll advance what you may have wrong with you, and then one of them will kill you. But it's really dangerous. But it don't appear out of thin air. So you've got to have a source for it.
Yeah.
And as long as we keep those sources protected, we'll be fine here. And
we throw this on the screen. We'll bring this up. Neighboring counties to Baxter, to the west, of course, I've got Marion pulled up. 1 positive, 1 recovery.
Correct.
Searcy is 6 positive, 6 recoveries, 0 deaths there as well. In Stone County, 8 and 8 with no deaths. In Izard County, 9 positives, 4 recoveries. Fulton County, 1 with 0 recoveries, 0 deaths.
That one's not yet 14 days old.
Is that right?
Yeah, that was a pretty recent case.
And then 5 and 5 in Baxter. So, and I've not pulled it up.
Well, I have access to every county, all the counties in Arkansas, all of us officials. The Arkansas GIS office gave us. You can go to Arkansas Missouri Department. It's kind of cumbersome to go, but Missouri Department of Health website and see all their counties too. But they sent us, the Arkansas GIS and Shelby Johnson and his crew put together a map for all of us, because they're having a real problem in Crittenden County,
which is
West Memphis, being adjacent to Memphis. And if you have a border county, you can click on this link and it'll tell you what your border counties have.
Oh, yeah.
So if you go look at that map, you'll find out that Shelby County, Tennessee, which is Memphis, DeSoto County, Mississippi,
yeah,
and Tunica County, Mississippi. If you add those 3 counties up, you have the whole state of Arkansas in those 3 counties. Mm-hmm. So most of what Tennessee has is in Memphis and the greater Memphis area. Mm-hmm. But if you added Crittenden County in Arkansas and put that 4 county together, there's more positive cases in those 4 counties than the whole state of Arkansas.
Wow.
And a third of the cases in Arkansas are inside prison walls.
Wow.
Almost 900 have been Cummins and just under 200 in the federal pen in Forest City. So you got almost a third of them inside a prison wall. What we have been fortunate with.
Then why were they releasing them?
They're not releasing any that has a chance to be positive and they're tested, but they're trying to make room so they can provide for it. Cummins got it hit pretty hard. Now I just noticed they just populated this weekend some deaths in that county. It's the one on the lower right that's dark blue. That
Lincoln County?
Yeah, that's the
842 positives, 714 negatives, 252 recoveries with 4 deaths.
And those 4 deaths just happened. I don't know if they was employees or prison inmates or regular community. I haven't researched that yet, but that's where Cummins is at. Then if you go up to the middle right, St. Francis County, you go to the river, and the 2 dark blue ones, that's it. That's
St. Francis, 95 positives, 476 negatives, 71 recovery, 0 death.
That's where the federal prison is. Mm-hmm. And then the next one, too, is Crittenden County, which is West Memphis, and they have a very active case like Pulaski County and
Why
Little
are
Rock.
the cities getting hit with this? Memphis, New Orleans, St. Louis, KC, Chicago, New York, L.A.
There's probably several factors there, but one is like what I understand it happened when it started in Arkansas. The first case was in Pine Bluff in Jefferson County, and it came from Mardi Gras. Mm-hmm. And you know how people are on top of each other at Mardi Gras. There was a big outbreak after people left Mardi Gras in New Orleans, and they spread it wherever they went. Mm-hmm. That's where it started in Arkansas. Now, that didn't start all the cases. I don't say that, but that was the first cases in Arkansas. And it hit pretty hard. There was medical workers that were tending to him, and they, I remember, they got several deaths in Jefferson County, but that's Pulaski. That's it.
18 passed.
And that's where it started. And then we had a traveling minister in Claiborne County that infected the whole congregation. Mm-hmm. And
a little that church there.
It's people that were close and huddled together and passing the water droplets is what they thought, and because the big cities are like that, plus people travel. In the big cities, those of us here, we don't travel that much on airplanes in close proximity. Yeah. We get in our car and we drive, and we might see somebody, we might not, we might see some family, but we don't congregate on top of each other so much. But in the big cities, they live together. Yep. Next door, tight to tight. They don't have spaces between them, and they work together then, and then they party together, and there's just a lot of ways that they're a lot closer knit, and evidently that's how this thing transmitted pretty seriously.
With that, we need to take a break. More with the county judge right after this. Be right back. Take a step back in time when going to a barbershop meant more than just getting a haircut. Come into Legionnaire Barbershop today, a unique gentleman's barbershop. Get back in style with 2 experienced licensed barbers who are trained in tonsorial arts and lock removal and are happy to give you a straight razor shave. Legionnaire Barbershop is veteran-owned and operated and located at 1041 Highland Circle, Suite 55 in Mountain Home. For a full, old-fashioned barbershop experience, stop by Legionnaire Barbershop today.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964. Northwood Lanes. Fun happens here.
At Letty's.
.740 vision with Baxter County Judge Mickey Pendergrass.
Good morning again, and it's good to see everybody. And it's, well, if you like this kind of day, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. We're all on this side of the grass, so that's good. I would like to just take a time to shout out to let people know how well Baxter County was represented last week when I come in here and invaded this show last Thursday morning, inviting you to come to the screening/testing site, trying to encourage people to go, and I was on live radio that morning as well. But it was called the Mobile Triage Unit, and it was sponsored by University of Arkansas Medical Sciences, and they had Colin just less than a week before, and they had worked out the details, and they called me the Friday before this and said, we got to have a meeting, this is coming. But what most people don't know, that we had planned one of these events 3 weeks prior. We had a private lab that was wanting to come up here, and so we had all the plans laid out, how we're going to do it, where we're going to do it. We involved all the street departments, the law enforcement, had the hospital, and everybody that was going to be involved. We had volunteers lined up, so everything was set on go. All we had to do was meet again when that didn't happen, and we didn't announce it, and it wasn't public knowledge. Meet again, and we put it all in the room, and phone conferences as well, and we organized this thing. And my new OEM director, David Stoltz, was the site leader. Baxter Regional handled some of the volunteers. He handled some of the volunteers. We met down there and contacted how we're going to set this up and got a tent. The tent supplier here out at Midway was there, had some great ideas. And thank you very much, Rod. And this, when they got here, UAMS brings about 10 people. And they're used to, when they go to a place, to having to set all this up. So they drive in Thursday morning, the 3-hour drive from Little Rock, an hour and a half before the event's supposed to start, just after I was here crashing you at 7:30. They drive in, and there's nothing for them to do. It's already set up. It's ready to go. Everybody, where do you need this? And all they had to do was get their stuffs out of the vehicles, get their gowns and their PPEs on, and get everything ready. So at 10 o'clock, we're going to start running cars through here. The streets were blocked off. We had officers in place. We had the volunteers do the screening and ask the questionnaires. And it just, they went back and they were interviewed later, and they were just so impressed with Baxter County. And I have said before, and I'll say again, that's just the way Baxter County rolls. We want to do it, and we want to do it right, and we want to have it set up. And there's too many people that was involved in this to thank them all. But BRMC, the City of Mountain Home, the Sheriff's Office, my Emergency Management Division, some of the volunteer fire departments were involved with their volunteers. I can't think of Rod's company now, but he has tents here. And if you need tents, call me. We'll get you his contact information. He can fix you. You know where the Christmas light display is every year at Midway you drive through?
Mm-hmm.
That's the same guy. So he does that for all the people every year. But he has any kind of tent you want for any kind of event you got. And he helped us and had some great ideas. The Baxter County Fairgrounds, I've left them out. That's where we held the event. We directed traffic. They were gracious, and Glenn Preby and the board there. And we set up things and run traffic through there. We had 57 vehicles drive through, and actually they told me later when I got the report, they had one lady walked in. Really? She just lived up the street, so she just walked into which we were not expecting, and we're telling everybody stay in the car unless you were asked to get out, because all the testing took place in your car, so you didn't get out. Well, this lady walks in, she says, I think I need to be checked. And so they checked her, screened her, and I don't remember if she got tested, but out of the about 71 people, 50 took the test, and to date, we have no positives out of that event. So we run up the numbers of what's testing, and that's one thing that they have to do. But it was just a great. If you can look at this list, this page here, this was the instructions we started with that we got Monday that we had to put together. We had people assign who was going to do this and who was going to do that. And we finalized that Monday and made it happen on Thursday. And some of them were expecting 800 people. Some of them were expecting 200. When I expected somewhere, I thought broadcast around 200, 100 to 200, and we ended up with 70, or 71. So it was a great event. It was offered to people, and they were left away understanding why Baxter County is what it is, because we do things correctly here, or at least we try. And this one worked out that way. So we appreciate everybody that was involved in that and everybody that turned out to make it a success.
Did all the results come in, or are they still waiting on some of the
I
results?
haven't seen the final report. I know they've trickled into the hospital, and as of yesterday morning, they had not yet had any anything come in positive. If there is a positive case, UMS will take care of that and contact the people and give them instructions. And if there is some other issues, and they took the opportunity to, when they got people in a closed audience like this, if they answered the question, do you smoke? Yes, they got an education while they were there, while they were in line. The reasons why to cease. So they take advantage of those kind of things. But they were going from here to, I think, Forest City, and they had been to Texarkana and Hope and they were going other places. So they're taking this mobile triage unit around, testing all around the state. And
that's cool.
We're fortunate. We invited anybody else to come in. They were here. And
time for a break? We'll take a break?
Well, we can. We'll talk about the Quorum Court meeting when we come back.
Sounds good. Be right back.
Brief.
At Letty's Mexican Restaurant, we are here to keep you safe during these difficult times, as well as serve you the best Mexican food in the area. That's why we have installed a convenient drive-through window for all your to-go and pickup orders. Give us a call at 870-435-2532 to order your next meal, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and ask us about our daily specials for a low price to feed the whole family. Experience the best in Mexican cuisine. Letty's in Gassville.
Save lives, like a superhero, and show up when people needed me.
When I grow up, I want to do animations. I want to create characters that can fly.
No matter what it is you want out of life, there is a path to get there.
When I grow up, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but I know I want to go to college.
Arkansas State University Mountain Home. Take your first step at asumh.edu.
Did you know when you shop at Sears Hometown Stores, you are supporting your local community? That's right. Your local Sears Hometown Store is locally owned and operated by one of your neighbors. Their store offers the best of what Sears has to offer with the top brands and appliances, tools, and lawn and garden. They also offer great financing options that work no matter what you need. Remember to stop by your local Sears Hometown Store today and support a local member of your community.
At MSI, they're not just another trash service. They're your friendly, family-owned and operated trash service, providing residential, commercial, and roll-off pickup. MSI offers competitive rates and services 5 counties in the north central Arkansas area. Various dumpster sizes available for commercial and accommodating you with weekly pickup for your convenience. Call Tammy or Kathy today at MSI. MSI Trash Service, small enough to know you and large enough to service you.
When you need durable and comfortable hospital scrubs stat, you need the Uniform Shop. The Uniform Shop is the place for top quality uniforms, carrying a great selection of name brands, including Carhartt, Vera Bradley, Urbane, and Grey's Anatomy, as well as shoes from Skechers, Nursemates, Softwalk, and Landau, stethoscopes from Littman, blood pressure cuffs, scissors, name tag retractables, compression socks, paramedic VDUs, and Rocky boots. The Uniform Shop also offers customizing, embroidery, and minor alterations. Let us put you in uniforms. Shop the Uniform Shop.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detailed services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
It's close enough to 7:50 to say it's 7:50.
It's 7:50.
It's 7:50. Quorum court tonight, huh?
That's like 10 minutes to 8. Yes, we have a fairly small agenda, but there's at least one big item that we've covers 3 of the items on the agenda. And thankful to XL7 the courthouse will be open. We will enforce social distancing in the seats if you show up, where it will be available on all the feeds as it was last month because of this TV station that's going to broadcast it. I'm educating myself on this iPad, so maybe I can monitor it if anybody has any online questions, and I'll keep up with that. Maybe I'll get that figured out today. But out of the regular,
I thought that was just for boat pictures.
What boat? But we have some appropriation fees, ordinances that we just kind of run of the mill. But there's 2 resolutions on here that have to do with we have access to a large grant. And the East Knoxville Development District called and asked if I would be interested in applying for a grant for Baxter Regional Medical Center, and I said absolutely. Then I found out it was $500,000 plus. And so I contacted them and got them, and they filled out the stuff and sent it back. And we've got the Arkansas Economic Development Commission, the Northwest Arkansas Economic Development District, and it has to go through the county. So we've been involved in the hospital, and we think it's pretty much been approved. We've just got to go through the process of getting this application. And some of the things is we've got a resolution declaring us we are a nonprofit. We're designated as a nonprofit agency, like the hospital, and we submit an Arkansas Community Economic Development Program application to the state, and also we have to have the federal laws, the CD Community Development Building Grant, and so that will be considered tonight. There will be a live presentation at this meeting. It's got to have a public hearing. There will be a representative. Jeremy will be over here from the Economic Development District to make this live presentation tonight, and the public meeting, and take any questions anybody has about this grant. It's a requirement of that. So that will happen tonight as well during this meeting. The sad part about our meeting tonight is we lost one of our quorum court members last couple of weeks. Lucy Sotasek, who was not only a good quorum court member, was a very close friend. And they had her funeral 2 weeks ago, and almost 2 weeks ago. She had some health issues of late, and we appreciate so much Lucy's contribution to the volunteer fire departments at Oakland Promised Land and Clark Ridge, and where she had served faithfully for many years, her and her husband, before he passed several years ago. So there is a resolution on the agenda tonight to declare that a vacancy, so that if so be it, we'll get the governor to appoint a new person to that position. But we're going to miss Lucy. She was a very vocal part of our court and a very participatory part of the Baxter County. Great caterer and cook, and did lots of wonderful things, and we're going to miss her dearly. But hearts go out to her and the family, and they having to deal with such a thing during even worse than times like this. But we're going to miss her, and we appreciate her service to the county, but we do have to declare a vacancy for that.
So that's a governor appointee?
Yes, the JPs are a governor appointee. Any other elected official in the county is a quorum court appointee. If something happens to me like this, then the quorum court appoints a new county judge, and so on down the line. But if it's a quorum court member, it goes to the governor's office.
Really?
Appointing recommendations, and they point from there.
Wow.
So, and the reason for that is that they're trying to keep somebody like a county judge from hand-picking somebody and getting their buddy on the quorum court.
Boss Hogg and Roscoe P. Coltrane.
I got news for you. It happens anyway.
Well said.
But that was the intent, and I understand that and appreciate the intent for it. But they depend a lot on the local people to help them, because they don't live here.
Yeah.
They don't know the people one from the other, and so we usually try to, if we have some volunteers, it's District 2, which is all of Clark Ridge, goes across to Marion County line in the Promised Land area, and across north of Mountain Home to the lake, north of Pigeon Creek. So if anybody live in that district that's viewing on this area and would like to serve, turn your name in. We'll certainly, we usually send in 2, 3, 4 names, however many we can find, and let them pick.
Yep.
So that's our quorum court meeting tonight. And we are open. The 911 office is still locked down. Veteran services, the home extension service are opened one at a time. You wait outside till you turn, just like barbershops. The sheriff's office has not changed the way they've been operating throughout this whole deal. They have an entry lobby. You come in if you need access to go back and be interviewed or talk or do something else. You will get checked, your questions and your temperature, or you will not enter that rest of the building. The jail visitation is under consideration. It is still closed, and it is under consideration, and we'll have an announcement about that probably not too distant future, because there's some that would like to visit. But the jail population is half capacity right now or less. Last time I checked, I think it was about 74. So
check it real quick while you keep talking here.
And talking about jail, we're just about completely paid off. We got everything done. We've got some remodeling done, but yeah, the new addition to the jail, we're just about, there's always a lot of loose ends to tie up, and we may have just a few, but it's just pretty much all done now.
Yeah, 76 for
76, okay.
Yeah. Huh.
But y'all people be good. Don't want to go to jail. One of the fortunate things through this, and this is the president's guidelines from CDC to open up America again. I've had this for better than a week, and we worked off of this as well as off the governor's conferences every day, except Sundays now. But pay attention, know where you've been, know where your friends have been, anybody you're visiting with have been, and don't bring it back into us, and let's keep us clean. And a lot of people have learned how to wash their hands that I think had forgotten that in the past. Some of them probably still need to remember how to wash their hands. Hand sanitizer and all those things. But
well, a lot of it have been responsibility of personal hygiene. If I'm going to wash my hands, I might as well just take a whole shower at least once or twice a day, Yeah. Wouldn't that help?
It would. But I've heard all the jokes about seeing people driving down the highway in a car by themselves with a mask on.
Yeah.
I don't understand it, but that's the way some people feel safer. And people wash their hands when they're the only one that's touched anything in the house, or them or their spouse. It's a good habit to get into.
But the thing
it's
is,
good etiquette to start with.
You can
so
still
not,
get. You remember the brown bottles of Lysol concentrate. You can see some of the bottles say antibacterial. This is a disinfectant, and 3 or 4 teaspoons goes to a gallon of water. And about once a week,
not for human consumption.
No, you don't drink the stuff.
No,
you mix your ratio up, whatever it says on the label, and you can disinfect everything. So do that once a week. In the
common
house.
sense.
Yeah,
and good hygiene. That's not a bad thing anytime. We pass around a lot of common colds and other bad diseases that'll also hurt you. So learn those things. If you have any questions about what we're doing at Baxter County, the only thing, we're about out of time.
Minute and a half.
We do have revenue forecast coming, and so we're taking steps in the county to deal with that. It's mainly appears to us going to affect the Road and Bridge Department because of the lack of gasoline sales that funds a lot of our revenue, and the lack of natural gas sales, which funds another segment of our revenue. And we're watching that closely, trying to make sure that we try to keep everybody employed and keep them busy. But large projects and capital expenses we have put on hold at this time, pending what this happens. Our county general accounts and our jail operation accounts are all majority funded, jail completely, but county general, the majority of the funding comes from sales tax, and people have bought a lot of toilet paper, so we've collected a lot of sales tax.
And obey the one-way signs of the floor of Walmart and Art.
Since you've been this joke, Scooter, get ready. Since you've been telling this joke mood tonight, I'm going to tell you one that I read from a friend of mine. Guy said, posted on Facebook yesterday, his house got TP'd and it doubled its value. Y'all have a good day. Appreciate you
tomorrow.
hanging there. Call if you have a need.